Sometimes janitor. We do it all.
We do it all.
We do
There's
it all.
a lot of roles here.
Got a lot of humility here at the show. Not about getting the game right. It's about gambling.
Makes perfect sense. We should move toward what the gambling community needs from the sport.
Right.
Millimeter off the plate, like, oh no, there's no way that was strike three kind of thing. And he's like, oh, challenge it.
You just want to send it, and you do, and you're just like,
Oh, there's 5 minutes left. I'm gonna go milk this clock. Oh, catcher, go talk to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
I think you can call a game from behind the pitcher's mound just as good as you could from behind home plate.
Because we've got to get more umpires back in the game.
You do.
And desiring to be there. There's got to be, and this is crazy, me supporting an umpire right now.
you see a manager turn his hat around, and
Get
he's up in
closer.
his face, and he's kicking dirt on the plate. Like, those are all tools in the toolkit.
We've already started here live at the show. Controversies and conspiracies on and off the field. I'm excited about it. We've got Trey Truitt, former D1 athlete, Ian Petty, owner of Doubted Athletes, and Zach Remillard, former big leaguer. Are we ever former big leaguers, or are you a big leaguer once you get there, Zach?
I mean, it feels very former.
It feels very former right now.
And I work here. I keep reiterating that. It seems like a more relevant title, but we'll stick with the ex-big leaguer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
CEO, COO, hitting director, sometimes janitor. We do it all.
We do it all.
We do
There's
it
a
all.
lot of roles here.
Got a lot of humility here at the show.
Yeah, we try.
All right, so I'm excited about. Let's just kick it off today's show with what would you change in baseball, travel baseball, youth baseball, amateur baseball, pro baseball? If you could change something in baseball on the field, what would it be? I'm gonna start with you, Ian.
Okay, so at the youth level, I think first and foremost, we need to get less coaches out of the dugout. Like, we get more coaches out of the dugout. Just because, I mean, you don't need the game changer guy in the dugout. You don't need the third assistant coach in the dugout. You really just need two guys. One guy that knows his role, like he's the main coach. He's going to make the changes and all that, this, that, and the other. Then you have your assistant coach that just gets ideas bounced off of him. I think at the college pro level, I think they need to slow down with the whole ABS and the strike zone thing, just because it's taking away the game within the game that we talked about last week.
Taking away the human element.
Yeah, for sure.
It is taking some power out of the umpire's hands, which I kind of like. I have some interesting developments that I've been told about the whole ABS system, robo umpire. It's not about getting the game right. It's about gambling. And so now you're going to be able to gamble on each and every pitch, and there's no discrepancy of that was a human error. That should have been a strike, but he called it a ball, vice versa. Now it is what it is with the lines, basically like a tennis match. You know what strike was and what it wasn't. And so it's going to be ushered into or walked into the whole gambling opportunity in baseball.
I didn't realize that when we're structuring our sports, that makes perfect sense. We should move toward what the gambling community needs from the sport in order to get it going in the right direction. No, for me, it's like the same idea. It's like I like the challenge system because I think it protects umpires in a way. Yet, I don't think it should call the game. I think that if the player has enough discernment, if the catcher has enough discernment, there's a risk involved in challenging because you only get so many, and I think it protects the game from being too impacted by human error. So I think it's like the perfect balance, and it keeps the flow of the game going. So for me, it's like ABS is fine and like a 3-challenge each team system, but as far as like automating the game, I think it's a bad idea. Taking relationships out.
You think three opportunities to challenge is enough? And I heard with some organizations, teams, managers saying hey, no challenges till at least the 7th inning, versus let's take it in college baseball with NIL money or in the big leagues with if Ohtani wants to challenge in the first inning, and he does. Is there any recourse?
There's recourse. I think there's always recourse with the way the media operates. Like, you're going to have to answer for your decisions like after the game. And I think most of the guys that I've encountered across the league, like, they're there to win for sure. And they everyone for the most part like sees the team as like more like bigger than themselves. So I think that like you'll see guys on any sort of chance, like if it's 100% and it's the first inning and it's egregious, like sure, if you're right, you know what I mean, just go ahead. But like I think when you get into the risk factor, it starts to move toward the end of the game or certain situations. Like if it's a big inning situation, I think it's going to actually enhance the game in the way that like it adds a little bit of a chess piece. You know,
I haven't read up on it and seen the recent rule changes. So if you guys know, let me fill us in. You have 3 opportunities to change the call or address the call or challenge the call. If you get it right, do you get to keep it or do you lose it?
No, you get to keep it. So it's like, for me, it's
Perfect.
like 3
Okay.
is more than enough because you like when you're challenging, you should be right. The only time you should be risking is certain scenarios where like your team understands like, hey, we got a chance at a big inning here. Like this is an at bat we need to continue. So borderline strike 3 with, I don't know, an out or 2 in the 7th inning in a close game. It's like that might be a time to see what happens.
Do you see this moving into college baseball, Trey?
I think it could. I think there would be a lot more, kind of like Zach was saying, I think it'd be interesting to see how coaches would play that because, like, I mean, we've all had that teammate who, even if it's a millimeter off the plate, like, oh, no, there's no way that was strike 3 kind of thing. And he's like, oh, challenge it. And it's just going to, like, at any point in the game, anytime he feels like he got screwed by the umpire, he's just going to call it. Right. So I think if it does move, it would be actually really interesting to see how a lot of coaches would kind of, like, set the rules, like you were saying, like, hey, like, it's got to be at least 7th inning.
Right.
Oh, it's hard. It is hard. When we did it in pro ball, like, there's times where, like, in the heat of the moment, like, it seems like it's personal and it's not. And it's like you can get sped up pretty quick in certain scenarios where you're like, that's not a strike, and you just want to send it, and you do, and you're just like, this isn't going to be good. Because then they play it on the scoreboard, and you're like,
3 per team, offensive and defense combined, or you get 3 offense, 3 defense?
It's 3 total, I believe.
I say, and it's funny that you said that because I was thinking when you first asked the question, Jacob Kozar, I think we can all agree he's like probably got some of the best hands defensively as a catcher. Like he steals so many strikes. I got to watch him play, played with him, played against him. And I'll never forget I had an AB where it was 3-2, runner on 2nd and 3rd, and I got a backdoor breaking ball from a righty that was, go back and look at it after the game on track, man, it's like kind of egregious. And you look at it in game and on video, his hands were just so good. Bring it back, guy calls it, and it's in a tight situation. It's like, like I feel like as a hitter I did the right thing, but it's like that would be a nice opportunity to be like, all right, that should have been ball 4. We got bases loaded.
That leads us into kind of the next topic. With catchers having the ability to frame pitches and their receiving is the elite receivers. Are those guys going to go away because it's not going to be as important with the robo strike zone?
I think the focus
going to go to an offensive position.
I think the focus might shift a little bit just based on like importance, but like I'll be honest, there's a lot of times in pro ball where I didn't challenge because the guy's hands were so quick that I thought I might have misseen it. Like if I took a pitch, I'm like, man, that's down, and I look back and he snapped it up like before I kind of got there. Like there's times where I like didn't challenge the pitch because of how well he received the baseball. So it's like that does come into play in the challenge system. Full ABS obviously will change everything, but like if you're doing the challenge system, there's still a level of deception for coaches, hitters, everyone, and pitchers. Like even your catcher, like receiving a ball well. That's why we talked about like pitchers don't get to challenge because like you throw a ball to your spot, the catcher's like set up there, receives it perfectly, you hammer your spot, but like it's a ball or 2 down, like, and the catcher made it look like everything executed. Like pitchers tend to react emotionally to that situation because they want that call. So it's like there's still that element of like, I don't know, sleight of hand that plays into everyone's kind of game.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that because that was exactly what I was thinking. Just like, I think especially as a hitter, like I see, like you said, a guy snags up a pitch low and out, for me, umpire's got to look over his shoulder. He's got to kind of make a judgment call. Like, I'm not going to sit there and question it, especially if it's one of those 50-50 balls and he just did a great job at framing it. Like, no matter how big the situation is, it's like, oh, maybe, probably could have tried to get a bat on that or tried to do something with it.
Yeah. I totally agree. You made great points. And I think that the whole ABS challenge system and all that stuff is great for the now, as long as it's, maintained to the college, pro league and only having 3 challenges and stuff like that. But I worry about in the future, like how we've seen the trickle-down effect with college baseball, NIL, and now it's kind of trickled down into high school, people bouncing around this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. Well, when 20 years from now, when maybe I have kids at that point in time, am I going to go to a local,
there's going to be ABS
park, and there's going to be ABS there, and now, my kid never really gets to, obviously baseball is filled with failure.
Right.
But how are they going to learn how to take failure when it's out of their control? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when that pitcher made a great pitch and that catcher made a great frame and that umpire made the right call, a bad call. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when it gets to that point, that's where I'm just like, you're changing the game of baseball that I fell in love with growing up.
Right. John Scalinos, head coach at Cal Poly Pomona University. Have you ever heard of him?
Nope.
No.
Maybe the greatest speech of all time at the ABCA. The title of his speech was 17 inches. He talks about the width of the plate and how it if you draws the analogy between the width of the plate and the strike zone and the rules of baseball and how it affects, or he draws an analogy between that and life in general. When we start expanding the plate and allowing things, humanity and players and people in general to get away with situations, and he draws an analogy between like trusting what the strike zone is, sticking to what the strike zone is, and the same way in life, rules are rules. Basically, it's the law, okay? And how we've gotten so far from that in youth baseball today. Do you think it'd be a good thing, at the 9, 10, 11-year-old, even at East Cobb at 17 years old in the playoffs, you see, you have the catcher or the camera behind the catcher now, and they're catching balls in the other batter's box and they're being called strikes to hurry the game along, right? If I could make a change, and it would be difficult because you're going to have games be drawn out to 3-4 hours long, but if I can make a change, it'd be back to no time limit in baseball because it's ruining the way we're played. And so, like when we get together and we do our own showcases, we go out to UNC Charlotte and we play a 9-inning game. Kids are a legit 9-inning game. Kids always come to me after that first one. They're like, it felt like we played a whole nother game from the 6th inning.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so I personally would like to change no time limit baseball and giving kids the opportunity to play out, and even coaches having to change their thought process of having to play a full 7 innings, right, in the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think even high school, right? High schools, there's no time limit.
Nope.
Correct.
And I mean, you think about now, like with travel ball, like you'll have guys who, there's 5 minutes left. I'm going to go milk this clock. Oh, catcher, go talk to the pitcher. Catcher comes back. All right, let me go talk to the pitcher now. Right. And then you come back. Oh, we're going to go pitch and change. Oh, game over.
Right.
And it's like, that's not, really finishing the game. Like there's still, I do agree.
And it's
with
within the rules, so you're almost crazy if you don't do that as a coach.
Yeah.
You have 30 seconds left. Your team's up 1.
Yep.
There's 2 outs, and whatever. Like you got to go waste that time because it's within the rules. Mm-hmm. But if you go take the time limit out, that obviously allows the tournament directors to play less games within a day. But it gets back to what baseball should be. But ultimately, going back to what I'd like to change is the strike zone be the strike zone, right? I think we would have a lot more walks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
In the immediate change with the time period, right? When it first gets changed. But then I feel like baseball will get back to, being what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, at the youth level, if the strike zone is a strike zone, you might be there for a while. Obviously in a perfect world, you would love for your kids to go out there for 12 and under to play 6 innings and see it through. Mm-hmm. The unfortunate part is we're not in a perfect world, and the tournament directors are worried about how many teams they can get into this tournament and how many games they can flip around,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of times at the youth level with umpires, and that's a big discussion, is like, this umpire's terrible if you play this, or if you play Top Gun, they're a little better if you play perfect game. I tell you what, go umpire a game yourself. Go see how it is, because I've done it. Did it for 3 years after high school. It's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
I think you can call a game from behind the pitcher's mound just as good as you could from behind home plate.
Right.
But I definitely think that my old school look on the game, and it need to be staying the same, is that these kids have to learn how to fail. They have to learn how to battle adversity, and they have to just learn to love the game the way that it is, mm-hmm. not try to have everything cultivated to themselves. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, the watching the youth game today, 9 to 18 as opposed to where they're at in college. Umpires today in college baseball, Power 4, are getting paid $3,500 a week, $4,000 a week to do that, and they're high level.
Yep.
And with that being said, umpiring is so important. They're a part of the game. They're just as important as the coaches, the players. And we talked about John Scalinas and upholding the law of the 17 inches of the plate. If we want to bring umpires back to the game, because we were at a game, local high school game here in Charlotte this past week, and they had 8 umpires out there roving around because they're trying to train new guys.
Yep.
And there's going to be some attrition every single year, but I personally would like to see if a parent attacks an umpire verbally, they're removed immediately, because we've got to get more umpires back in the game.
You do.
And desiring to be there. There's got to be, and this is crazy, me supporting an umpire right now, but literally, if we keep driving out the good umpires, it's only going to get worse. Right? So,
now, y'all probably aren't going to like when I say this, but you probably could agree. What makes a good umpire is one that wants to be in charge.
100%. Have energy and want to be there.
Because
I agree.
When I was going through the whole training and everything, they were like, this is how they're going to put you in situations where on the Sunday that I have to show up for training, we're going to go step in this back room and we're going to do situations, and I'm going to be the umpire behind the plate. My person in charge of me is over here, and he's going to be the coach, and I'm going to call a strike, and he's going to get on to me. So I have to learn how to adapt in those situations, mm-hmm. right? So as an umpire, you have to be in charge. Now, there is obviously a line where some umpires take that a little too far, but, just the good umpires need to stay in the game, and I feel like a lot of the ones that I know that from my local area that have done it for forever, they will always do it because it's what they love to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now, obviously, they've all learned how to close your ears, don't listen to the parents behind you, because it doesn't matter unless that coach says something to me or that coach says something to me. Nothing else behind here matters,
right?
And that's how they're trained,
right?
So at the high school level.
Best umpire, in your opinion, in the big leagues right now, Rem?
Angel Hernandez.
I would say, what is his name? It's the guy. He's he's kind of not shorter, but he's like a. I would have to look him up, but I think there's one guy in particular who does a really good job. And to your point, I do think umpires need to take charge. I think that taking charge is very different than bulldozing.
Yes.
I think that taking charge looks like knowing what to act on and knowing what isn't. It's all about discerning. Is this actually important? Is this affecting the environment, the flow of the game, whatever it is? It's the humility that umpires need to have to be in charge, right? Is more of a the best umpires should, like I said, I don't know his name and don't know how to explain him. You know what I mean? There's umpires that the name of, Like there's umpires that are always like in controversy. Like that to me isn't taking charge.
Right.
It's the guy that's like
You don't
that
recognize
shows up
he's
and you're
there.
like, man, I love that guy. And like, yeah, I hope like you get to know him eventually and know his name, but like that guy does his job and enforces the rule book on behalf of the rule book in the game and like does not interfere, therefore leaves no stamp, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That brings to mind umpires with the flashy out calls, the flashy ring ups. You know, is it about them or is it about the game?
I think it's.
Does it matter to you?
No, I think it's fun. I think it's like bat flipping. Like it's just
Yes.
like for me, it's just like if you guys want to give energy like to the game in big moments, like if you take that personally, then you're clearly upset about the call. You know what I mean? You're on the wrong side of that call because like at the end of the day, he made his call. And he left no question. I have more of a problem with the ball hit down the line and no one makes a call. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Right,
you know what I mean? The guy that yells foul, that yells strike, that yells out, like, I know for sure, right, what's at stake. And it's like the continuation of the play depends on it. So for me, like anyone that wants to assert, even like over dramatically to some, like, no, just give us the call as loudly and as clearly and as directly as you can so we can keep playing the game.
Right.
And I think that's also like a confidence thing. Like I was talking to my dad this weekend at my little brother's baseball game, and there was a ball hit down the line. We all thought it was fair, but he like immediately was like screaming foul, and like we were arguing. We were like, we thought it was fair, but like he thought it was foul, and he went with like he was confident in his what he was confident in what he saw, and that was the call he made. Now whether or not UNCG doesn't have instant replay, so we'll never truly know.
Yeah.
But like he was confident in it, which is something I'd rather have as an athlete because at least it's like he's gonna live and die by that. Like that's what he saw.
I'm glad you brought that up, and I don't want to cut Ian off here, but instant replay is my other change on or off the field in amateur baseball. I brought it up to Perfect Game. I brought it up to USSSA. If we could implement instant replay in amateur sports, why would we not? The video cameras from mom and dad are always rolling. You're allowed 3 visuals, and it costs you $100. Okay? And if they make the call, they change the call in your favor, you get your $100 back. If not, you lose your $100. Why not? Because they don't want to upset the umpires in making a bad call. It's an ego thing.
It is definitely protecting the umpires.
Yes.
I can agree with that.
But the umpires should want to get it right anyway.
But I'll give you a different point of view. They do. They do. I promise you they do. A lot of umpires, they want to make the right call. A lot of them, people have different personalities. But to the point, because since I work a lot with dealing with film, I film a ton of baseball games, okay? Last summer, there was a ball that was hit down right field line on field 3 at East Cobb, okay? When I go back and look at that video, clear as day, foul to me. Okay? Umpire, clear as day. He's in the A position. He's down first base line. He is looking straight down the line. He calls foul. First base coach, who is running towards the line to get a better angle, thinks it's fair. They get into an argument about it. Okay, I go back when I get home and I take my my camera, nice camera, and I go frame by frame and look at it. I'm like, dude, that's a foul ball.
Right.
But if I take that same video and I go show you the coach, and he goes, well, that's fair. You're never really going to have a 100% agreement on it.
The video showed it foul.
The video showed it foul.
The umpire called it foul.
In my opinion. Now,
Then
if
it's a foul ball.
I showed it to a couple of other coaches, and they're like, dude, that's a fair ball.
You get you get the hairline ones,
So-
like, is it in or out? The foul fair thing, it's 1 in a million. Like, it does happen, but it is small. Like, I think all of it goes back to, like, do you want to be right or do you want to get it right? Like, those are different things. Like,
Very much
being
so.
right is different than getting it right. And if umpires or anyone would take initiative and, like, just be like, no, I want to take a second look. Like, I think I have that right, but let's double check. And they were just like open to like inviting it into the process versus like seeing it as an attack. You'd have this like people would start to view replay as part of what the umpires do instead of like judging like, oh, like the cameras
prove
like
wrong.
on a different team than the umpire. It's like in the big leagues, you just see guys be like, man, I don't know, let's go look at it.
look at
Yeah,
it.
like
Right.
why wouldn't we go look at it? It's because
Right.
like at the end of the day, when you're trying to get the call correct, like it doesn't matter how. You know what I mean? It's just about like the job is to not impact the game and enforce the rules of the game.
Yep. And that's why they're in the big leagues, though.
No, I know. And yeah,
But
for sure.
and then because I wanted to bring this up, and because you made the point, I wanted to ask you, to get clarify it. When they say nothing fair, right? Do you see that as a problem that they're not saying you're not going fair? Or?
Nothing should be fair. You only make a call on foul. You point fair, you yell foul.
Okay.
You
I was
never
just- I
yell
was getting
fair.
clarification
Yelling
on
fair is yeah.
Because if you go, a lot of guys when they start screaming, you don't really know
You don't know
what
what they're saying. So
saying.
you only yell if it's a foul ball
Yeah.
to stop play.
Gotcha.
If there's nothing. It's just a point.
Yep.
Fair.
Got it. Any
That's
other-
how I think. That's how I think it works.
Yeah.
Right.
So
All right, let's switch gears. Let's move over to spring training. It started, I believe, games started this past weekend. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite team? Your pick to win the World Series?
Detroit Tigers.
Yankees.
Big old 313 boy, mom and dad, born and raised up there. Spent a lot of time there in my youth. Gotta go for the Tigres.
definitely an awesome club. I love some of the guys on that team, but I mean, hometown fandom is putting blinders on you a little bit.
It absolutely is. But
I tell you what, if they get to a one game take all series or for the series and Screwball,
and let me get Scooble on the bump. Oh my God, it's
man.
over.
He's tough to beat.
One.
I need Verlander
You
to
guys
have a good
got the
year, though.
Friday
We're coming
guy.
home
Like you go
party.
to the SEC.
He's still pitching?
We just re-signed Verlander.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yep.
He probably still throws 98, so that's sick.
That takes me to PEDs.
Yeah.
So we're ready to talk about that right now.
No way. They have rules against that. I can confirm. I think that if you have Scooble for one game, obviously anyone. But my question, not to pick a team, but my question is, are the Blue Jays a little overhyped in comparison to the Dodgers? Because last year was an awesome series and the teams were both really good and they're making moves, but I still think the gap is pretty is big. I don't know.
There's
Do
a
you know what I
huge
mean?
gap
We're
between the
acting like
Dodgers
it's the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, and then a small jump in everyone else, and it's to me it's the Dodgers are still kind of standing alone, and you got to play really well and have a really good series to infringe upon that. And if you catch them at the right time, if you get a cold lineup and you get a couple arms off, it's baseball.
Yeah,
it's hard to
can
win.
win.
It's hard to be super consistent.
Correct.
But can you just replace the Blue Jays with said other team? You know what I mean? Or is it going to be the Dodgers and the Blue Jays? Does that make sense?
I think it's definitely going to be the Dodgers, but I think there's plenty of argument that says there could be a different team come out of the AL other than the Blue Jays. The AL East is the toughest division, and the NL West is the second toughest division right now in baseball. And everybody else is kind of trying to climb the ladder. The way the Dodgers have structured their finances and the moves they've made are a part of what's going to be debated at the collective bargaining agreement after the season. Can you defer money? Is that legal? They go out and win a World Series, they go sign Kyle Tucker to $240 million. The rich get richer, which is what the Bible says, if you go read it, right, in the Gospels. And so, they are taking full advantage of a business philosophy that they have right now to go win as much as they can. And so I'm going Dodgers. I don't know how you beat that squad right now. But as you said, you get to the end and somebody gets hot, anything can happen in baseball.
I'm going someone else.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Someone else.
Dodgers or someone else. I feel like that's the real conversation we're having is it going to be the Dodgers or is it not going to be the Dodgers? And for me, it's you upgrade, but at some point you continue to upgrade and push. There's a flow to things. There's a dynamic to things, and it's hard to add big pieces to a already existing group over and over again as effectively as the Dodgers have, and they've done really well, like seeking out guys who won't impact the dynamic, will like to leverage them in a way that makes them the most productive in a role that, like, you got guys in the Dodgers who play every day and hit in the middle of the lineup of other teams who are like playing against lefties, because like it's setting everyone up for success. But I don't know, at some point you keep adding superstars into role playing, like how far can you take it? You know what I mean? Like there's always the Scott Brocious, there's always the like utility bench guy, and they have some, don't get me wrong, but I guess like big picture, if everyone's healthy, like you're looking at an like borderline all-star game lineup top to bottom.
Right. Yeah. And not only the lineup, but on the mound, they're crazy. Mm-hmm. They've got multiple starters past 1 through 5. Injuries are obviously a big topic, in baseball today, going into spring training. As we're in spring training, Lopez, big sign from this past off season is having Tommy John, so that's going to play a factor in who wins it all, obviously. Going into spring training and the workload management versus competition, should spring training be competitive to the fans? They want it to be. They're driving up ticket sales. They're moving right. Exactly. No, it's not. It's to get ready.
If we're upset already about the best players in the game not being available during the season, like let's just give them time to ramp up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're about to play 162 with off days, but like let them take spring training to like prepare themselves for the season.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, my first big league camp with the Braves, I come in with just ready to rock, 94, 95. Every ball matters to me that I throw, and I watched Tom Glavine throw a bullpen in front of me, and he doesn't break a pane of glass at 72 miles an hour for 3 weeks. And he's already on the team. I'm trying to make the team, right? But in his first outing, he gives up 7 or 8 runs in a couple innings, and it doesn't matter. But to the fans, it matters to them. So do you bring more guys up to be minor leaguers who are seeking opportunities so it looks good to the fans?
You're getting that, but like there's still a giant like gap, like physically, like playing wise. Like these guys, like these minor leaguers that come in the back end of game, like they're diving through walls and having a blast, and it's awesome.
Absolutely.
It is awesome, and I do enjoy it. But with that said, like there's a different speed when you get the everyday big leaguers. Like there's a different speed, different pace. Like it's a noticeably different sense of control in the environment when you're watching. So like you can bring the guys up and like get excited about the future and pump the future, and I think that's great for the game, especially for those guys. I was one of those guys. To where you have most guys going for a couple innings and hitting the road. Like I went to every single game and played the back half. And if I started, like most of the time there was no one coming in behind me. So it's like my spring training was almost like longer than the season. So like you have different elements, but as far as like getting the starting lineup out there for a full game, like it doesn't make sense.
So I have a question, just because obviously I haven't been here like you and Jake have. Would spring training more so be comparable to like how getting ready for this Division I season, come back from winter break, it's just like live ABs, ton of inter squads right before the season starts? Like would that
those
be
guys
comparable to like you were talking about because I know like my last year at UNCG, they'd be like, hey, you're going to get 2 ABs a day, and then we're going to let the freshmen take over. And then I just get to kind of sit there, relax. Half time I'd go coach first. And
imagine if you could do that and then go play 18 holes of golf and then show up the next day for another couple hours and then go home like at like 11. Like it's a much different vibe. Like college is way more serious, but like to an extent, like yes, like what you're saying is like that's kind of how they treat it. But everything's monitored off of like what the franchise guys, with the like big league starters, like the priority is like how many at bats do they need? How do we have to ramp them up? What's their workload? How do we get them prepared for opening day? And then everyone else is filling the spot. Like you deal with it. Like it's like if you play a lot because so and so wants 2 at bats today, then 2 at bats tomorrow, and you're the guy behind them. It's like they'll run you out there for 4 days in a row, and like put a pretty heavy workload on you because you're always serving a role to protect someone more important than you, if that makes sense to them.
Gotcha.
So 30 games in camp, 162 during the season. For the playoff teams, they seemingly continue to want to expand the playoffs, right? It's more money, it's more TV airtime, all the stuff. Is it too much? If you're the head of baseball, do you cut the games back to 142 like they do in the minor leagues?
I think it's a business, so like at the end of the day, like from a baseball purist standpoint, like there's way too many games. Like way too many games. I would love to see like, and like I said, this is far outside of like operating costs, like P&Ls, like all that, like concessions. Like I'm not talking from a business standpoint. No one's blaming ownership in the league for like playing a lot of baseball games because there's a demand that people love to show up in the summer. But as far as like from a player standpoint, like me personally, like the long season gives me more opportunities if I like, because I was always a stay healthy guy. But overall, like why I would love to see a shortened season, and I don't hate the like a 7-inning bout. Like I wouldn't hate seeing a bunch of 7-inning games that like your every at bat now gets magnified. You go to the bullpen earlier. Everything is like best versus best for a longer period of time, because like over the long haul of a season, it's just like some of these 9-inning games are like they hammer their whole week. Like
we saw a couple 18-inning games last year.
But like let these guys get. I mean, I love those games. But like when you're talking about like a 15-1 game and you're dragging out the top of the ninth, it's like these dudes got to get on a flight. Like just let them go and go home and leave. And
so run rules in pro baseball.
Yeah, then you get the business standpoint is like these guys paid for tickets. Like they get 9 innings because that's what they purchased. But like for me, from a standpoint of like they do it in college. Like it's like, hey, there's a hard stop because like these guys got to get on the road. Yeah, and it's like the fans the next day in the next city are getting. You're rolling in at what 3 a.m, getting some sleep and uncrossing your eyes for a couple 103-mile-an-hour heaters. Like it's like we get these guys 8 hours of sleep, you know.
The banana ball in direct competition with Major League Baseball. Do fans really care who wins? What percentage of fans care if their hometown team wins anymore versus my brother got to do the dizzy bat race, or he got to sprint against whatever his name is down in Atlanta around
isn't
the outfield.
Everyone's hometown team in Savannah? Isn't that how it works? I don't know.
So
isn't everyone's hometown team in Banana Ball Savannah? Like, isn't that the team?
I'm pretty sure that's what Johnny said. Yeah, they're all based out
they're
of Savannah.
Based out of
still.
Savannah, but they're across the country now. You got the Coconuts that are kind of like out of,
Indianapolis Clowns.
Yeah, the firefighters. Beach. You know, is Banana Ball making moves, competing with Major League Baseball?
Yes.
Whoa,
entertainment. Yes.
Entertainment.
There we go. I agree. And why?
It's like
they're selling out 100,000 seat stadiums.
It's like the second Happy Gilmore movie. You know, golf's boring. A lot of people say baseball is boring. If you're not a baseball purist, people think baseball is boring. Mm-hmm. And they want to see 400-yard drives. They want to see a guy do a backflip and hit a tank or catch a fly ball. They want to see that. Now, personally, I hate banana ball because it's you know, I don't want to seem like the fun police here, but like then you see kids out there not like taking practice seriously because they're sitting there trying to work on
banana ball tricks.
Banana
in the
ball
middle
tricks.
Of my practice. Yeah, no.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
That also kind of helps athleticism, doesn't it? Like being able to kind of think outside the box.
I will say,
point.
I think it could be good. It's kind of like what I always say about being a multi-sport athlete. Like you learn to use your body in different ways. Like
good point. I can agree with that.
Playing football and basketball my whole life and soccer, I think I'm a better athlete, and I think that's why I think I was more successful in baseball than I would have been, or at least from the athletic side of it, than if I would have been one of the kids who was just like, I'm going to sit here and play baseball from 8U to I'm 22 years old.
Yeah, but were you trying to do backflips and
that's true though.
and
That's true. I wasn't trying to
bounce the
catch a
ball
pop
off
five
your
on the
glove
backflip.
and-
Go ahead.
Now, I'm trying to, play the opposing side here a little bit, but I definitely could see how it could help kids like learn how to use their glove a little better, or do this a little better, or throw from awkward positions a little better. Definitely agree with that, but within reason.
I think of the best movie of all time, Gladiator. Are you not entertained? That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what the fans want. They want to be entertained.
They do.
And yes, they want to see Skubal, and they don't want to see Verlander anymore. And they do want to see Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Aaron Judge. But ultimately, as we always joked about, Rem, we're the monkeys inside the cage playing, entertaining fans. And at what level are you competing versus entertaining?
There's a difference. Okay, so like, there's no shade to be thrown at this banana ball thing from my vantage point. Like, what these guys do is impressive, and like, don't get it twisted. Like, everyone that's playing in banana ball like is a pretty impressive baseball
Jackie
player.
Bradley Jr.
And
was
I
the
think
first round pick this
if you
year,
took
World
all of
Series
those
champion.
guys and put them into like baseball, like with this experience, like I think they might be better players for it, because like there's an element of this business that steals the love, the joy, the fun sometimes, like because it is super serious, super competitive, and it's so performance driven that like stepping back from that and engaging in performance with fun and entertainment, like, and it's an impressive skill set. Like I can't do all like most of the things that they're doing, you know what I mean? So they're good players, but like when it comes down to it, when you're going out to see Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, like guys at the highest level of the sport, like one, you're trying to, like you're seeing a dream within yourself. Like this is the direction like you want to go, and this is someone who's great at it. But like watching them isn't like, I don't think that people realize like you don't want to see Aaron Judge. And I might be wrong. Aaron might be like a hilarious, like great dancing, fun time for like the Bananas. But like, I don't go out to see Aaron Judge to see him entertain me. I watched Aaron Judge impress me with how incredible he is at a craft and how gifted he is to do a certain thing on this earth. It's like, I don't really know if I care a ton about the violin, but if I go watch someone who's great at the violin, like the best in the world, play it, I'm probably going to be like captivated by it. Right. So it's like the entertainment level is like YouTube, like restful, enjoy, like lay back, picnic, hanging out, having a great time, versus like engagement into watching how a person who is incredibly gifted to do their craft like walks on and off the field, speaks to his teammates. Like it's a different thing, and it will never be the same thing. And like we've pushed it like with the bat flips, and like the game is shifting, and I think it is impacted by all of that stuff. But like, don't get it twisted, like they're very different lanes. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Like those lanes don't intersect and they don't compete. Like if I grew up, unpopular take, but maybe I was a hardcore WWE fan when I was a kid. I mean, I was like, this is the cool, like this is crazy. You know what I mean? These guys jumping off the top of the cage, landing on nails. I'm like, this guy's alive. It's incredible. You know what I mean? He's getting up, and I'm like, how is he getting up? And then like when I got older, like it can be fun to watch, but it's different. You know what I mean? And it's just like the youth fan base, I think it is bringing an engagement and interest to baseball that is really like good. And I think you'll always see the best in the world competing at the highest level on the highest stage be the thing that is the most the most incredible to watch, even if you don't love baseball, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So here's my question then, because I'm trying to think of it from a different angle. So I like to always think of it like the banana ball thing is like grabbing the younger kids who just absolutely have like no feelings for baseball. They're just like, oh yeah, it's baseball. Like I really don't like it. It's boring. So are the Bananas now grabbing those kids, turning them into baseball fans, and then like you said with WWE, when they get older, now they're like, oh, I can appreciate this more because I watched him doing this, and now I'm watching the best in the world play it at the MLB.
That's why.
That's a really good point.
But that's why I think it's like beneficial to the sport, like to where you will have like the crossover, the engagement, like getting people in the door. Like, I don't know. I go to a conference every year for like Christian professional athletes, and I've heard like some of the people from the football party, like on the baseball end. I feel like when I invite people to the conference, I'm very like clear about what's going on. I heard on the football end, they'll just tell one of their teammates like, "Hey, we're going to this conference, and it's here, and it's on like it's located on the beach. Like, you want to go?" And then they show up, and they're met with like worship and like sermons and like engagement, and it's like on one end, like I am communicating exactly what you're signing up for, and on another end, you're just bringing people in the door and letting it do its thing. And I don't think it's any different. It's like, if this is your path in to baseball, like, sure, there's a lot of branches you can go. I don't think it matters. I don't think you need to be playing baseball for all the right reasons since you start baseball. I think that like you can grow into that if like this makes baseball more fun and brings more guys into our sport who would never know they loved it until they did that. You know what I mean? They might find out they're pretty good at something that they otherwise wouldn't engage in. So like for me, it's like, yeah, no, I'm on that team too. I think it's great for the sport.
Right. So 2 summers ago, we were playing a game. The SBA Bolts, who've been number one in the country for 3 or 4 years, playing a game, and Perfect Game puts a helmet cam on a couple of our players. One hits a triple, slides into third. They've got like in-your-face, live action, kid at the plate, slide into third, all the stuff. Can Major League Baseball incorporate that into their TV broadcast that would maybe combat some of the competitiveness that the banana ball is bringing? Is it fans engagement with the fans is becoming a thing, right? And so how can Major League Baseball combat what the Bananas are doing so that they start winning on every level again? Because I think the Bananas thing is growing on a lot of fans. It's growing on a lot of people across the country and even the world. They just went on a Caribbean tour, and brought fans with them, and they all had a blast. And we've had 11 kids out of Showcase Baseball Academy play on one of the Bananas teams. We have a little bit of inside information. There's some analytics in the banana ball. The mid-year meetings, the end-of-year meetings. Your innings are lasting too long. As a pitcher, we want your innings to be 4 minutes or less. There's data and analytics that they are using as well. And they know what each fan wants in the entertainment. It's not just flips and whatever. It's there's some data behind what they're doing. There's some real thought process to it.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And be careful where you tread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like what can be the greatest job in the world and the most fun job in the world gets so structured that you choke the art form out of it, and now you're basically like a paid actor. You know what I mean? And like you're there's no like I feel like a lot of these guys, like the organic draw to it is like this like space for them to express creativity on the fly and to show like it's an art. Like, and so is baseball. And I think the tension we're seeing in baseball right now is the analytics control versus like the artistry, the culture, America's pastime.
Correct.
It's like, when's the last time you heard baseball called America's pastime? It's like, that's what it is. Like this is a cultural, this is an art thing, and every player has a unique way of expressing their artistry through the game they play, and it goes back to like, it doesn't look like dancing for Aaron Judge. It doesn't look like backflips for Aaron Judge, but it's like it's the same thing in a very different format. And I think that baseball across the board could continue to navigate relationships, open-handedness with data as a tool set in order to like help guys progress. But when it becomes too close to a means to an end, and like a say-all, when data becomes a say-all, you choke out like the relationship and the life a little bit too much for me, and it becomes too much of a transaction. And I think that you get to the point where if you try to, like, the beauty in whatever, like, what's happening right now, especially with banana ball, is like there's like a freedom to it. Like, it's cool to see, you know.
I think now, yeah, I did answer the question of, is banana ball becoming an impact on the big league? I said yes, but I only think for a short period of time, because
Okay, so it has a life.
because now I give full credit. What's the guy's name who runs it? Banana ball. He does a phenomenal job of chasing his dream for that league. He does a phenomenal job, and this is not a shot at him or anything like that. It's just my opinion, and I think it's going to be something where they're constantly trying to evolve and change. Eventually that wheel is going to stop. I feel like it inevitably is, right? It's having to constantly always change, evolve to be more like, or to be competitive with MLB. Whereas MLB is MLB. They're not trying to.
That's what I think. I don't think you should be competing with MLB. I think, like,
I don't think they are, but
They might not be. They might not
I don't
be.
think they are. But just coming from the fans' perspective, they are closing ground on the entertainment piece of professional baseball.
Yeah.
Their draft was on ESPN this year, and media controls everything.
It does.
So my question is, what does Major League Baseball need to do in order to bring the fans back? If they go into a strike after this season, they're in trouble.
Oh, the MLB has to do nothing.
I agree with that. I
they're-
agree with, like, honestly, like, you're talking, like, for me, it's not, it's like, it's margin based. Like, hey, we can't, like, the lockout's effective because you're losing games on the schedule. And it's like diving into margins. Yet, like, the business, the structure, MLB, like, I think it's more of like, is it going to be this or this? I don't think it's like, are we going to be okay? Like, they're so far ahead of any other person in this race, and there's no catching them. It's like, I don't know, like, it might be a bad example, but like the Live Tour. Like, is that, like, that's chasing down the PGA?
Yeah,
I don't think
they're
it
dying
is.
off.
It's
Right.
Yeah, because it's not. There's something about the
They
pure.
didn't air that properly. They didn't
No,
attack it
they
on
didn't.
TV.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but they
They've
tried
done
to
a
make
much better job
golf
with
more
that.
entertaining, but it's not about that. Like,
No.
you don't make golf more entertaining for the best in the world. Like, leave the best in the world playing against the best in the world on the nicest groomed courses in the world, playing golf. Like, we don't really need to make that more fun. If you want to shorten it, like, I think the clock for baseball, I don't hate the pitch clock. It makes the game move. I don't
Yes.
mind. I
Do you
don't.
think it's creating injuries?
No.
The pitch clock?
I don't want to say yes or no.
Matheny
but,
said
like,
after year one that him catching a full game with the 20-second clock was like he had caught for a week.
yeah,
So there was some adaptation that took, to kind of get used to it. But
for sure.
Pitchers having to throw another pitch in 18, 20 seconds. Is it creating arm issues?
I think it's all, and it might be, but I think it's all trying to amplify what's actually happening more so than cater to what the fan wants the game to be. Like, I think it's more of like,
The purpose for
There's
the clock
something-
was to shorten games.
yeah, but the
because
reason
fans were losing
I know, but
interest
the-
after 2 hours and a half.
And like, how can we invite those guys back to see what's happening here? Like, the thing is still the thing. The thing is the best players in the world throwing the ball like harder, hitting the ball farther, and like playing a game at a speed that your eyes can barely comprehend. And they honestly make it look easy sometimes. It's like the product is 100% the product. It's just about like, how do we enhance, like, you got, like, we're running the podcast and you got your, like, what's it, soundbar dashboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And you're like, you're adjusting things, but the content's the content. You know what I mean? Like, you can make it sound better, but if the content stinks, the content stinks. If it's
Yep.
good, like, we can enhance and play with it. But that's how I see Major League Baseball. It's why it's like stood the test of time. It's because it is the highest level. If you want to play baseball in this world, you come to the U.S. and you play baseball at the best stage in the whole wide world. That's why Ohtani's here.
I think that's from top to bottom right now, from the big leagues all the way down to, college to high school. I get emails and guys reaching out to me from the Netherlands, Australia, like, I want to come to the States, I want to play baseball. Nobody's trying to go to Russia or other places to play baseball. Agreed, that is America's pastime. I would like it to be referenced that way a little more, like you were talking about. But ultimately, I think that, yes, the Bananas have made a little bit headway. I don't think they're trying to compete with Major League Baseball.
Fun conversation, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. If you ask the first 100 kids that walk into our building today, would you rather play for the Savannah Bananas or the Chicago White Sox? What do you think their answer is, and what percentage?
You're setting me up.
I think we get a split right down the
I'm being
middle.
set up.
I think we get a split right down the middle.
Who's the worst team in Major League Baseball right now?
Miami Marlins. Rockies.
I would say
have
they're
no
all
idea.
good, and I respect every team.
Well, I'm not saying I wouldn't go, but I would play for every single
time out.
team.
Who had the worst record in Major League Baseball last
I
year?
wouldn't play for any team
I'll
because
play
I'm
for
done
any
playing.
I'm done
so.
playing.
That was a
Right.
loaded question.
People ask me all the time, do you miss playing? And I said, after 14 years, absolutely not.
no.
I really enjoy coaching and helping the next generation get there and loving the game. But who had the worst record in Major League Baseball last year?
I think it was the Rockies.
Rockies, wasn't it?
Was
Okay,
like
so we'll go
114
Rockies. Would you
or something?
rather play? I'm going to ask the first 12-year-old. I think he comes in about 30 minutes. Would you rather play for the Rockies or the Savannah Bananas? Out of 100 kids, what percentage say?
Who are the Rockies?
Yeah.
How many kids asked that? No, I would say honestly under 12. If you went under 11 under, I think 12's kind of that age where it's like, oh, these guys start to get pretty serious.
Yeah.
But like 11 under, right now, like with the way like I see a lot of the banana stuff being like paralleled with like YouTube influencer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like in my perspective, like
You think it's
Over-
greater than 50%?
I do.
Okay, 11 and under is greater than 50%.
I think it.
12 and older.
I think it's greater than 75%.
Wow, okay.
If you say the Rockies, I think it's over 75%. So
Right.
Say
I
they
still
won't play
think
for
it's
the Bananas.
50. I think about my kids. I can name off the top of my head like Everett Zug. I'm 99.9% sure Pate, Parks, Miller. Like I think all my boys, Ethan Johnson. Like I think they're like, I want to play Major League Baseball. Like
Okay.
that's what I'm here to do. Like yeah, the Bananas are cool.
Love that.
Like I want to go see the Bananas play. Obviously, like. I mean, if the Bananas came to Charlotte and I had a ticket, yeah, I'd go watch the Bananas play.
I would like to see if kids see it as a very different
But
thing.
They
I
came to
think-
Charlotte and I had 5 tickets and I sold them.
Yeah. Well, Johnny told me next time he comes in, he'll give me some
Yeah,
tickets.
Johnny, yeah. Johnny Hummel, firefighters, former SBA dude.
Great dude.
Yeah.
Need to
love
get out and
Johnny.
see him for sure. He's got a great thing going on, a little media attention with his whole Red Rocket. What's the
His Lightning McQueen.
Lightning
The car- yeah.
McQueen and the red jersey. And,
His TikTok blew up, and he posted, I think, 5 TikToks in the matter of a week.
Right.
Here when we were working out, and it was like 100,000 followers.
he's getting
I mean, it
crazy.
wasn't that, but it was something crazy.
He's getting crazy views. And views are everything now.
They are.
You know, what's on social media, what's on YouTube.
I take that back. Views isn't everything.
What
I
is
feel
it?
like
Engagement?
the legacy you build is everything.
Okay.
Views obviously definitely helps. It drives attention, it drives sales, it does all that. But legacy, it goes back to what you and I kind of agreed upon. You rely on entertainment when you don't have the legacy,
Right.
like the MLB.
Yeah, no money, no clicks, no anything can outrun like quality.
So
What
what's
is the
an
top of
adjustment
top?
with the collective bargaining agreement coming up after the 26th season? What are the adjustments that you would like to see? And to give you kind of spur the thought process, I think there needs to be it's kind of like in politics, there needs to be term limits. That's where I feel. There needs to be an age limit in the umpire world.
I think
Age limit?
that-
There needs to be an age limit, yeah.
What do you mean?
You can't have 65 and 70-year-old men out there
I think before
umpiring the fastest athletes
You
in the
mean
world.
I think
okay?
we
You
need-
mean in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we need.
You're telling me-
I don't think it needs to be age based, and we might find that it is. I think you could go with the old relegation kind of gameplay, to where like you got like your top 3 umpires on the amateur circuit. I don't know what it's called, but like AAA umpires, the top 3 like have an opportunity to replace the bottom 3, and you kind of have a system because like. I know there's a union. I want umpires
It's the
protected.
strongest
but, like,
union in
we're not
professional
like,
sports,
My whole
umpires
entire
union.
my whole entire baseball career, like there's a chance every day that I'd show up and they'd be like, "You don't play here anymore. You're going home." Like, and they could just replace me
And it's not
with
that
anyone
way in
from
umpiring.
anywhere in the world. And it's like, and we're not talking about any umpire can be replaced at any time. Like if you have traction, like good performance, like, and like you're tracked to be a quality umpire, like just like keeping people like competitive toward the bottom and like kind of filtering some sort of like program that like encourages like bettering your craft. Like competition drives people to like better themselves, and I think that's too much security from a here standpoint, right? Like can allow people to coast and it's like we have to contribute and better ourselves constantly, and it's like we would appreciate to see that like replicated on their end.
There needs to be a players union. There needs to be an umpires union. Like I get those. I am against unions, but I'm from the South. I'm not from the North. But what is it about? It's about the game of baseball. It's not about the umpires. It's not about the players. It's not about the coaches. It's about the game of baseball. And so how can we make the game of baseball better? And I feel like that's one way they can do it. And maybe it's not age limits. Yeah. Maybe it's that they have to pass a test physically. Maybe. We have to pass tests physically as players.
Yeah.
Statistic-based.
I think one of the statistics last year in the World Series, if not the NLCS, an umpire missed 18 or 19 calls in one game.
It was the Padres-Cubs game.
Padres-Cubs.
Behind home plate?
That was the Padres
behind home plate?
game, I think.
Yes, behind home plate.
How many pitchers were thrown that game?
I think it was like 9 or 10 pitchers through.
9 or 10 pitchers?
It was 200. It was 240 something pitches.
Percentage, yeah.
So you're missing 9%.
Sidebar: How many did you get wrong? You. How many
I
did you
didn't
get
umpire
wrong?
the game.
I'm saying if you did, give me a shot. Shot in the dark.
I'm gonna miss 5.
5.
You're going to miss more than that.
I'm gonna miss 5
Yeah,
calls.
that loses all
Guaranteed.
credibility.
If out of
What
I'm
was
200
saying, I
Exactly.
can point and be like, there's got to be someone better than that, but like it's probably not me.
210
like I can
attempts
see,
at the
but
MLB
like,
level, I think I'm 90% to 95%. Like
From behind home,
that particular game was
behind
99%.
home plate.
from behind home plate, but I think that gives me 200 pitches. That's what I'm missing, close to 10 calls.
I think you're missing more.
I think you're missing more.
Guaranteed.
Well,
Guaranteed.
I think, are we going off the AVS or whatever the little box system is?
Yeah.
Well, it's the system.
Okay,
The same
well, yeah, I
standard
guess, yeah.
that the umpires are held to.
It might be more. I'm not going to say I'm only going to miss 5. I'm going to miss way more than 5. I know
I'm gonna miss 3.
3.
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
I think 130 miles an hour coming in at you. I think that's why I like the
amount of calls that are missed on the bases alone since instant replay has been instituted. And by the way, the worst rule change of all time is the middle infielder not being able to be in front of the bag on a tag out on a guy stealing second base is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yep.
It makes it really hard.
That's stupid.
I mean, there's a lot of advantages to protect the base runner at this point in time, which is a little aggressive.
Because they're trying to bring that part of the game back and stealing bases. A pitcher can only pick the first twice, and the middle infielder can't be in front of the bag. I understand blocking the bag, but not just being in front of the bag.
No,
That's crazy.
if their face of the bag is big enough to where if his foot's there, like you can reach, like you can find a way. But like if he's laying flat, no ball, like and he's shinning in front of the face of the bag, and there's no way in, it's like that's different. But yeah, it's like they wanted to make a rule so clear that like it's kind of just like. Just to have a rule, they over-enforce like this overly aggressive rule. Versus like baseball, like tell me what a check swing is. You know what I mean? It's like there's always going to be an element of judgment. So like you got to keep that across.
What is a check swing? Just for the people listening, like what in your mind? What in your mind says a player
in front of the plate?
The bat head in front of the plate.
Angle of the bat head in correlation to the hands. Does it break 90 degrees at any point in time? So even if my hands travel and my bat head doesn't release, because if I don't release the bat head, I'm not taking a swing. My swing is releasing the bat head.
I agree.
So if I release the bat head past 90, but my hands don't travel, that's a swing. But if I like don't break my hands and push my knob a little and hold back, like Jeter used to do it all the time. Like
Jeter's the best
it's not
at
a swing.
I got something funny here.
All right.
Hot take, and I'm kind of calling out umpires here a little bit. See, the day old debate about, the guy in the field can't call a check swing. That's a lie.
Yeah.
you can 1,000%
Dude,
call
the
it.
guy behind home plate, there's like 40 things going on.
Yep.
Like, just ask your boy. He's like hanging out.
Yep.
No ball was hit.
Yep.
He doesn't
But
have
I
to call a
don't-
strike. Like,
Amongst umpires, though, I have no idea why. They're like, I've had conversations like this. If I'm in the field and the guy behind the plate has done it longer than I have, if I overrule him, he's pissed at me. I'm getting my ass chewed on the way back to the car.
Yeah, we have a
You
problem
know,
with ego.
like so. But you can 1,000%. If you're in the B or the C, you can tell because you can just tell the angle of the bat.
We should be able to instant replay check swings.
I agree.
I like that.
I agree. We got all these like, at the big league level too. You have all this like super high level like joint stuff where you can bat track and like it's like why don't you just set a parameter and just track it?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Call me
Are we
crazy.
seeing
think that'd be
less
It'd be cool.
outside of Aaron Boone, who I love? Are we seeing less ejections in baseball because of the instant replay being instituted?
I think that could
Yeah.
have something to do with it for sure. I love to see a good old. I'm not gonna lie. I love to see a manager or coach like just
I'm in.
like. I
Yes.
mean, when I was at NC State,
Yes.
that was half the fun. Was just
Elliot's
watching
good at it.
Elliot just go in on
Yeah.
everybody, and it'd be borderline. But sometimes he'd just be like, "Hey, it's about that time for me to."
It's time to get the boys riled up.
And like get the boys going. We're like looking at the scoreboard, bottom of the eighth. It's a 1-2 game. Guy on second. We really need something going, and you just hear him going in on a borderline call. You're like, yeah, Ava, yeah, like. I've missed
As a
that part of the game.
player,
That's
do you
fun.
like that? I mean, I think you do. As a player, you like that your manager's engaged and he's got your back in those situations, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I never really defined my coaches like by like did they get on the umpire? I was,
Right, no,
you know,
yeah.
like I didn't. I mean, I hear you.
5% variable.
I think it's cool, and I think sometimes it's like over the top, like. And now, I'm not saying like I love like you got some YouTube video classics where the guy's in the dugout and he's throwing like baseballs like it's a grenade. Like those are hilarious. Those are all time videos. Like just sweeping dirt on the plate and just doing some things. Like that's where like the bananas things come back in. There's some baseball things. You see a manager turn his hat around and
Get
he's up in
closer.
his face and he's kicking dirt on the plate. Like those are all tools in the toolkit. You know what I mean? Like those are
They're
yeah,
premeditated.
they're giving you a little bit of a show, and it's like they're just doing their thing, and I think that's a cool part of the game. But ultimately, like, I don't know if that's like a reason. Like, I kind of like don't do dry swings at third to show me what I'm doing wrong. Like, don't yell. Like, just like wait till after the at bat. That's great. Like, but like let's not like make this guy give another ball off because you guys are yelling at each other. Like, let's
Right.
just kind of, like I'll handle it. Like, no big deal. And then like from there, after my at bat, if you want to have my back, great. But like mid at bat, like just let me do my thing. You know?
Right.
It's true.
I don't know
I
if that
think-
makes sense. But.
I think for some kids though, like, because I know last week you guys kind of talked about a confidence thing with like certain kids, like when we were kind of talking about the travel ball, like is it right for certain kids and all that. Now that I'm on the outside looking in, like I'm watching Brantley's games every week, like you can just tell like some kids who walk up to the plate with confidence, and some kids don't. Like, and it doesn't matter how good they are. Like, I mean, obviously. Every single kid at UNC Greensboro is a great athlete. They're playing Division I baseball at a high level in the SoCon. Like, they're good baseball players. But you can still tell a difference of who walks up with confidence and who doesn't. And I'm not going to say the kid's name, but he was 0-2 against Kentucky the first week, opening series. And Coach Ellis just starts, like, going in. And it was an egregious call, but, like, he's going in, and then at one point he was just he yelled something at him like along the lines of like, "Hey, I got you." But he was like, "That's a bad call, but like now you got to work." And then you could just almost see like the whole kid's confidence change. So I wonder for some kids, like how you were saying that for you, like obviously, yeah. I'm not going to do it to the point where like this is the strike zone, and now he's calling this, and now he's going to call this. Like we've all seen that video of the New Orleans game, and kid complains, and then the umpire rings him up to end the game on a spiked curveball in the other batter's box. Like, yeah, obviously we don't want to turn that situation.
Yeah.
But I think some kids do kind of see that as like hey, my coach has got my back. Like, I'm about to grind this AB for the team kind of deal. And maybe that was just that kid, and that was just an instance I
That's
saw.
a real thing. That's a real thing. When you
I
find
think
out
some
your
kids
coach
do see it. Yeah.
isn't like, 'cause sometimes, especially in college, you can feel like everything you do is like, man, my coach hates me. Like it feels like just because like the weight of like college baseball sometimes. So like when your coach like shows that, it kind of gives you a little bit like, hey, I believe in you, and like not blaming, like you're in a 0-2 count, and like if you're scuffling a little bit and your coach is like, oh, here we go again, like wants to pin everything on you. I think that's important, but I think great coaches know when that's necessary.
When
like
the correct time
even
and
if it
place.
wasn't even if it wasn't an egregious call, like great time for that coach with that person to do that thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like just because like that's what good coaches do.
So, kind of wrapping things up here, would you, if you could change anything, what would it be, right? But secondarily to that, would you rather have a full robo system, ABS, instant replay, go that direction, or have none of it?
Well, or nothing.
All or nothing guy.
I'd
Get
rather-
back to baseball
Oh,
in its purest, and umpires are a part of it,
At what level?
and the big leagues.
None of it.
None of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be different for you because you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah.
I haven't.
As a fan, you say
I'm
none
a
of it.
spectator.
Right.
None of it because I want to see the coach come running out, still second base. And
Right.
just
How do
go-
you miss that?
Yeah, I want
Are
to see
you paying
more
attention?
of that.
Right.
So
yeah.
that's my
I agree.
opinion.
All right, we got one none of it.
I mean,
Would you rather full go or none at all?
man, the hardest part's cutting out like the umps and catchers and stuff. Like I don't like that, but overall, I think accountability's good. I think when you can find some uniformity, some accountability, it lessens the gap of like question on some things. It's like if you can have an ABS in your bullpen at SBA, and if you pitch in the big leagues someday, like your ABS, like I think that's good for people to like create like a master craft. You know, I think all is too much, and I think none is not enough. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably have to take all.
20-second rule in Major League Baseball during spring training.
Oh man, let's get this thing moving, man. Okay. I get distracted. I'm tired. Like standing in my cleats, like I don't need to do it for 3.5 hours for the same amount of events.
But because it affects the hitter as well. I mean, like egregious call or borderline call. You want to, because as a hitter, a lot goes into your plate appearance versus pitcher A versus pitcher B versus pitcher C, meaning fastball, curveball change, fastball, slider split, sinker, slider, kick change. So, and I know that last one doesn't go together. It's four-seam kick change, whatever. So you're competing against the pitcher one-on-one at the time as a hitter. And you're looking for a specific pitch early in the count, something you can drive. You're feeling good at the plate, so you're not giving in until 2 strikes. Or you're not feeling so good, so you're going to expand your zone after 1 strike. And a bad call is made. You may need an extra 5-10 seconds.
Well, I always liked it, just me personally, because that kind of helped me
100%.
wipe it. I'm like, all right, like,
Next
he
pitch.
just
So
threw
the
me,
quicker
but
clock
I
helps
got to
you
be
wipe
ready
it.
to go for
If
this
there
next
was
pitch.
no
I can't
clock-
miss this next pitch.
If there was no clock, you're not going to catch me out of the box taking a dry swing. Like, I'm back in. I'm finding my footing, and I'm back in, and I'm waiting on the
Okay.
pitcher because, like, even if there was no clock, like, I really don't. What am I? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm
Right.
walking around over here thinking about nothing. Like, it's like, get me back in there and, like, let's go again. Like, I've always been, like, my brain works quick. I want to stay on that pace. Like,
So you
too
want to
much
dictate
time-
pace versus the
Too
pitcher.
much time for me, I think, is actually not good. As
Right.
much as like, if we're all going fast, like I can go fast.
I was always the guy, and obviously I was a pitcher, that I wanted to dictate the pace or the tempo versus the hitter, meaning I was on the rubber before he was in the box.
I was
That's
going
how,
to
yeah.
say, that was my hot
The game
take.
within the game.
A kid who likes to go slow, I'd much rather hit a quick pitcher, like a guy trying to quick pitch me, and I'll just be like the Joey Votto video, like I just won't get out the box. Like I'm like, all right, like
Right.
it's me versus you. Like,
Right.
Well, that goes back to
I'm
the,
ready to rumble.
That
Right.
goes back to the
Right.
thing of like 0-2. Like my thought, if like 0-2, that's like, and the coach like gets on the umpire, like I'm getting iced. I'm punching. You know what I mean? Like it's like this isn't good. Like it's like, can you hold the thought? Like let me get back in here, because like imagine if you're off the machine, you take one swing, you walk around the facility, you take another swing, versus like pitch.
Right. It's the free
Pitch,
throws
like
in
the
backyard.
frequency, like
Yes.
it feels like you're in more of a flow state when you're engaged constantly than like having to like buy time to re-engage.
Yeah. Right. So overall, the 20-second rule is good.
I actually enjoy it.
Yeah. That's why I'm out of baseball, because it helps. You know what I mean?
All right, so what would you change? Is there anything else you'd change? For the good. I mean, it could be something they haven't implemented yet. Like instant replay in youth baseball would be awesome. I think there's a way to.
I'll ask a question to get your opinion on it.
All right.
Would you rather have, this may be different for hitters, instead of, because we always have the argument of, we want hitters want pitchers to throw in the zone. No hitter wants to get hit. Right. Would pitchers benefit from higher seams on a baseball opposed to using like spider tack or higher seams on a baseball?
Well, I mean, Big Papi, David Ortiz, said he would rather Garrett Cole have a little bit better feel than having the ball being sprayed around. Right? I'd rather have a little bit higher spin than the unknowing of if this guy's going to throw the ball over the plate or at my head.
Yeah.
Especially in colder weather or out in Colorado where it's dry. Those. I think that higher seams. I think it's more of a tackiness of the ball, the way they rub them up. So, I don't know. That's a good question.
I think seams definitely allows for a little bit more.
Since hitters get to wear the gladiator body armor up there, then we should be able to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
Yeah, since David Ortiz said he'd rather Garrett Cole have a little stick, you should be able to glue the ball to your hand so you can't get it off, because your spin rate goes up like
a million.
Yeah, a million. You're talking about go stand in the box against a 3,000 plus RPM slider. And it's like it's honestly, it's something to see. Before they got rid of the tack and the test, it was like there were some balls doing things that it's like, how does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think with everything, there's a middle ground of is a little bit of pine tar gonna ruin a game? I think if you monitor a guy's averages and you see it tick up, and then you see whole jump a building on fastball RPM, carry, spin rate on slider, I think if you just monitor those things, it will tell you the story. I don't think a few RPMs or 100 RPMs to get a little bit more grip is necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But once you're going from 2,200 to 3,000 on a breaking ball, it's we're talking about a different pitcher throwing a different pitch.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. There's been some guys that I've faced, when I was, before college really started diving down into the sticky and doing the pat downs and everything, the past couple of years, my freshman and sophomore year, we had a lefty who was 97, and if he didn't have his sticky stuff, it was the scariest thing in the world. And I mean, he's made it now, and he's pitched, and he's made his debut and everything, but it's without his sticky stuff, at least in college, it was and me being a left-handed bat was I'd coach. I'd pull my hammy. I don't want to.
So if I go bullfrog and rosin, is that illegal?
Do what?
Yeah, anything that they grab and they get a good amount of traction. I think it's overkill. I think if you get a good day of rosin and sweat, I think umpires will gawk twice at it. Maybe, I don't know. They just, when they check, it's just I think it's all about it's weird too, because it becomes back to a judgment call. I feel some guys are a little bit more strict on it, some guys aren't. But
or just it's a tacky versus a.
Yeah, I mean when it's glue and but there's guys. I mean they still know all the tricks, getting it off. The boys are gonna play. The boys are gonna do what they gotta do. But I don't think they're doing anything. I don't think they're doing anything wrong right now. You can't get away with glue anymore. Yeah. I don't see how you could.
Right.
And if you are, then I'm sure we'll find out in the next couple of years.
Right.
Brantley always does say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying has always been a thing. So let's wrap that up for today at Live at the Show. Thanks to the guys for joining us. Doubted Athletes for covering it. Showcase Baseball Academy for hosting. And we're going Dodgers to win it all. We're going
Everyone else.
We're
Or someone else.
definitely polling the kids on the Bananas versus the Rockies. And I'm excited for the results. All right. Thanks for listening. See you soon.
Peace.